on it. So we got our first knock this morning. It was actually a friendly knock. The pastor for the church happens to live right here, and we parked right here, and he works right there. So on his way to work, he knocked on the van, and I was awake at 6, but Nicole let me fall back asleep, and so at 6:30, which is when I would have left the parking lot, that's when he came a knocking. I came out of the van and he's got a smile on his face, and he said, just checking on you, making sure you're okay, because the last guy that stayed here tried to steal fuel from their buses, because they have 3 other buses over there. And I explained to him, we're a family and it was late last night, we had to find somewhere to sleep, and he said it's fine, people do it all the time here. I ended up shaking the guy's hand, and he said we're welcome to stay here till this evening if we want to, but obviously we've got to get back on the road. So does it really count as a knock? I think an official knock has to be at 2 in the morning, and it has to be somebody angry, so this doesn't count as an official knock. Today is another travel day, and we are going to Twin Falls, Idaho. Well, at least that's what's in the GPS at this point. It's already 2 p.m. and it's 8 hours away, so I'm not sure we'll get that far, but that's the plan.
Idaho?
Yeah, Twin Falls, Idaho, yeah.
But Arizona's south?
I know, but it's sort of like a dogleg because we're taking the back roads.
Turn right onto Northwest.
In case you're wondering, we're in the town of Prineville, which we've been to before, and it is 500 miles, I believe, to Twin Falls, so it's quite a trek. Towards the end of yesterday's vlog, I had mentioned that we had found ourselves in a desert landscape again, and this may look quite green, but I believe it's still considered a desert landscape. These are juniper trees or juniper bushes, which can be found around the Grand Canyon area, and that would be considered high desert area. So we're high up, but it's very dry. This road is called the Central Oregon Highway, and we will be on it now for the next 140 miles in what looks like just a straight line heading east towards Idaho. Sleepy little town of Hines, and it is the home of, I can't remember what it was.
It's spelled P-A-I-U-T-E, so I'm gonna guess Paiute Indian Reservation.
And we were driving through it thinking that it wasn't going to have character, but it turns out if you turn off the main drag, then the old main street is what you're seeing right now, and it is just your typical Wild West town. It's got all the character we were looking for. So I under-anticipated the vastness and sparseness of Oregon. It's looked like an alien landscape now for a couple of hours, and I was heading to a spot on the map to get fuel, and it was a fuel station that's fallen over, so there's no fuel there. And we're on E, we've been on E for at least 50 miles now. We are out of fuel. But luckily, before we left, I installed 2 spare fuel tanks under the van, which are finally coming in handy.
Because if you didn't do that, we'd be sitting in the middle of the desert right now out of fuel.
Well, I would have been a lot more worried about it. I haven't really been worried about it, I just didn't want to be rolling around in the dirt. But now I have to roll around in the dirt. I think we could stay here overnight, but I wanted to get further than this, and I think Twin Falls is still 4 hours away. But the kids are going to stretch their legs at least. They've been cooped up in the van all day. There's worse places to be right now. Alright, I'm procrastinating. I'm going to get under the van, get these tanks. I'm so glad I put these tanks under the van now.
Yeah.
I'm a genius.
I mean, I don't know about that, no.
This isn't just an excuse for me to play with my fancy fuel tanks. God, look, this is beautiful. We are running out of fuel. So those are my tanks. They're in place of the spare tire. These are the special custom fuel tanks. They're designed to be the same size as your spare wheel. And I called the guy, oh yeah, because we didn't order them till late. We almost didn't get them in time before we hit the road. So I called the company to ask them if they could ship them quicker. And you actually speak to the guy who invented them. They're called Trailed, so I recommend them. They're a great invention that not many people know about. But how well do they bore? Doing something.
There was a cap inside.
Might help if you take the cap off. There we go.
Oh, you're doing just fine. They're heavy, aren't they?
Yeah, there's 6 gallons in it. Can I just mention the fact that we've been here for 15-20 minutes now and seen maybe 4 trucks go by?
Yeah, and they've all been traveling in pairs.
There's nowhere to pull off on the side of the road, it's just a steep drop. So if you do run out of fuel, you're in trouble.
Also, don't trust the gas station that said it was there on the thing, because it ain't.
Pulling over. There's no sign to warn you either. In Nevada or Arizona, one of the two, there's an actual sign that tells you, warning, no fuel for 180 miles.
Yeah.
There's nothing to tell you.
It takes a long time to get rid of 6 gallons in the tank.
There's still quite a lot in it.
And what was the company called?
Trailed.
Trailed.
T-R-A-I-L-D.
D. Yeah. Nope, that's it.
That's how it's done. Didn't take long. A little more effort than I thought it would be, but it's easier than running out of fuel. Call me crazy, but I enjoy a little pit stop like this. I haven't had my hands dirty in a long time. It also gave Nicole a chance to make us sandwiches for dinner. But check this out. We wouldn't have seen this if we hadn't stopped. Oh man, that's so cool. That should go on the van life postcard. Start van life today. Can I also point out that there is a hill right here that needs climbing to see how the sunset looks from up there. As usual, this is probably going to be a little bit further than I thought it was, but I know it's going to be worth it when I get to the top. Not quite as epic as I was hoping for, but still pretty cool. This is where we came from, and this is where we're going. We still don't get a phone signal out here. We've been on SOS for most of the day, which is something that we're not used to because this is the perfect environment for the Starlink. But without the Starlink, we've got no internet, which until now we've been used to having in the desert. So we've been all day without internet. I've just become aware that I'm in the middle of nowhere in the desert and I can hear coyotes in the background. So the sooner I get to the van, the better. They sound like they're a long way away though. That should be fine.
It's sandwiches tonight for dinner. Not what I planned on making for dinner tonight, but sometimes you have to improvise. And we wanted to get sandwiches in us now because the next town, we didn't really want to be stopping again for one, and two, we didn't really want to be doing fast food. Dad's got a cheese and onion sandwich.
Just washing it down.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Greek salad. Because I like myself a Greek salad.
Are we weird because we eat cheese and onion sandwiches? I don't think I've ever seen it in the store.
I've never had it. I didn't have a cheese and onion sandwich till I met you.
Right, we're getting back on the road and it's going to be dark soon, so driving through the desert in the dark again.
This time, not running out of gas.
When do you think we'll run out of gas?
Because we have before?
Got another tank under there. You can get the next one out.
No, I'm good.
3 trailers! It's like a train. That's awesome. We're waiting for a pilot car. There's roadworks in the middle of nowhere. Just when you thought the night was over, cheap fuel. We finally found a spot for tonight. It's at a church and it's in the back. It took us a little bit longer to find a church tonight because it was a friendly knock this morning, but a knock's a knock and it's kind of just got us on edge a bit. We've got a pretty good track record so far, and I think if we get through tonight with no issues, then we'll be back on our game tomorrow. The other problem that we're facing is that we went through a time zone, so it's 11 o'clock our time and it's 12 o'clock here. So that means that we have to be out of the parking lot an hour sooner than we would normally. And it's getting late. You know, I've got to sleep at some point. So we're going to go to bed finally for an early start in the morning, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.